Welcome to ZIPS Nation Insider. My name is Jacob Farrar, here with Grant Bogdan. Grant, you missed last week. We had to call an audible at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. So
appreciate the shout out in last week's episode.
All your fans, we want to make sure your fans knew that that was not a permanent thing, that it was just for last week. ZIPS Nation's Insider is powered by the Fear the Root Collective and Bryant Heating and Cooling. So Grant, what do we have from this past week in Akron athletics?
Yeah, obviously a huge win for the men's basketball team, getting the massive win over rival Kent State last weekend, 85-71. We're all starters on the team. We're in double figures for that game, and they never trailed. Up huge, going into halftime, 18 points going into the half. And then the two most recent guests on the podcast on the men's team, Nate Johnson and Tavari Johnson, both led the way with 20 points and 15 points respectively. So great start for them. They're doing phenomenal. 16-5, 9-0 in the MAC. Just a huge win against the rivals. Great to see.
It was a fantastic environment. Obviously, it was on the road, hostile. The hostile, Kent MAC. I guess it's just a MAC Center, MACC. But ZIPS Nation was there.
Showed out.
A good group of students up in the second level, and there's some right behind. But they started out fast and never looked back.
Didn't take the foot off the gas at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So huge win there. Got a game tomorrow night actually against Ball State here at the Jar, where they're going to be honoring Enrique Freeman. So don't want to miss that.
No, I saw that was February 18th.
Really? Okay. So February 18th.
February 18th.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Still got a couple games for that, but
that's right.
It is around the corner, and you don't want to miss that. So.
Yep. One thing just to note from that game that I really stood out to me was the play of James Okonkwo. He was just a monster. Grabbed 13 boards. He had a double-double.
Yep.
But it's just interesting how dominant he was in that game. Really, it was fun to watch. He did a really good job and just was just a monster on the boards. And just a shout out to him and his success. I know the last few weeks his point total have been down a little bit, but man, oh man, he double-double. I think he had 11 points, 13 boards. Yeah. So it was fun to watch him this past Friday.
He's the piece they needed after losing Enrique. He's really slot in there perfectly.
Absolutely.
So it's worked great. Hopping over to women's basketball, 5-game losing streak. Kind of want to get back on the right side of things here as we're going into the month of February.
Sure.
Lost to Bowling Green. Shelby Brown actually had a career high in that game with 22 points. Also played Kent State, but really important to make a push here as we're moving down to the end of the season.
Yeah, so both men's and women played Kent over the weekend. Obviously, we just talked about the men on Friday, women on Saturday. Some good individual performances. Shelby Brown on Saturday, 15 points. Nira Clark, 10, and then Alexus Mobley, who we're actually going to have on the show.
Perfect.
He's our guest today. Also contributed 10 points. I think just the challenge that game is Kent jumped out so fast, and it was just tough to get caught up. But definitely, I think we'll talk to Alexus about what they can do to kind of right that ship, because I think everyone wants them to do it, especially the players.
Western Michigan on Wednesday is a perfect opportunity for that.
On Wednesday.
So, awesome. And then we had swim and dive. They had a dominant senior night this past week where they had to meet with Ball State, and they ended up winning that 201-81.
It sounds like a rout to me.
Right.
I don't know swimming scoring, but it sounds like
seems like a pretty large margin of victory there. So great for them. Great to see them having success as usual. Do you get any other notes from that? Or?
Yeah, so we've had a couple guests on the podcast, Abby Daniel and Grace Newfer. Both of them had victories at Senior Day against Ball State, so congratulations to them. I think the big next thing for the swim team and dive team is the MAC Championship, and that kicks off at the end of this month. 4 days starting on the 26th, so that's really just now it's preparation for the MAC Championship.
Yep. Awesome. And then track and field also had the Akron Invitation over this past week where they had a strong showing, 13 victories as part of 35 overall top 3 performances. So great continued success there as we're seeing with the track team.
We have a number of other meets, and then their track, the MAC Indoor Championships also start at the end of the month. So again, it's preparation for that. That's kind of, I think, the goal for both swimming as well as track is just that focus on the MAC Championship. In addition, we have this week 2 spring sports. Yep. So the cross starts this weekend here at home on the 8th, and then softball starts on the road on Friday. So it is spring sports. I mean, it's still, I guess today it's a little warm outside, but
it's February, but spring sports are here.
Spring sports. Anything else?
Awesome.
Okay.
No, good week. Good week for the men's team, and look to stay on track going into this week. So go Zips.
All right. Let's bring on Alexus. Alexus, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you so much for being able to rearrange your schedule from last week. Yeah, watch out, these do recline. These do recline. So as we talked about, right, so Saturday, tough loss at rival Kent. And the question I wanted to ask you, obviously you had a great individual performance, 10 points, but how does, this is what I love about athletes, your ability to just bounce back. So what's your mindset? Again, you have a 5-game skid.
Yeah.
What is it from you personally? How do you kind of change that mentality, not let it bog you down to how do you bounce back? Then also as a senior leader on the team, motivating the other players in the midst of, it's kind of a tough part of the season right now.
Yeah, you kind of have to bounce back quick. Not that many games left, quick turnarounds for everything. Just have to keep trusting in your process and believing in each other. Out there, we're kind of all we got. We're the only ones that really believe in each other.
Sure.
So, you kind of just have to keep trusting in your teammates and everything like that. We just stay together. We're just on our own we're on our own journey. So just trust it. So
trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust coach, trust the coaching staff that
100%.
How to get you out of this tough moment. So Alexus Mobley is our guest in the suite, courtesy of the Tire Source, the official sponsor of the Turnover Tire. So Alexus, before we get into, got some questions about this season, but I want to know a little bit more about you. So from Indianapolis originally, and came to Akron from Danville Community College. So talk about kind of your path leading to here in Akron.
Yeah, so coming out of high school, that was my only offer to go to Danville Area Community College. My JUCO experience was crazy to me. I was there for 3 years. Believed in my coach. He asked me to stay another year. I stayed another year. Made it to nationals, kind of in the same situation that we're in now. We went on an 8-game winning streak.
Oh, wow.
Won in the championship. Then, Coach G found me.
Okay.
And
so was he there scouting at the tournament, or was just somehow found you?
No, I have my assistant coach that was at my JUCO. She was really close friends with Coach Jess, the assistant coach here.
Okay.
So it was kind of that kind of connection.
Okay. So, but went to high school in Indianapolis. Now, there's another player on the team. It's also from Indianapolis. Did you guys know each other? Did you play against each other? You're both seniors?
Yeah, we knew of each other. We didn't really know each other,
Okay.
but we're from the same area, so you see each other a couple times when you play in the basketball area.
Okay.
Basketball world's really small.
Yeah. Also, I know Indianapolis is a big town.
Yeah.
But again, through I don't know, AAU perspective or club teams, if you guys played against each other. So if you could just describe yourself as a player. So if I was to ask, who is Alexus Mobley as a player, how would you answer that?
I would say that I'm aggressive, confident, and I love to let my personality shine on the floor.
Okay.
With celebrations, cheering on my team, picking each other up. I'm very driven and goal-oriented. I know what I want, and I'm gonna
So I love
get it.
your first word was aggressive.
Yeah.
Because I would use that same word to describe you. The memory of me of you that sticks in my mind is just fearless, relentless, driving to the basket.
Yeah.
That is not something that intimidates you.
No.
So aggressive is a good word to describe. I love that. So you've been here at Akron a couple years. How has that transition been from the community college to now playing in Division I? How's that transition?
It was an adjustment just because my community college was a lot smaller, campus was a little bit bigger. From basketball, you go from kind of being at the top to being at the bottom. You have to work your way back up again. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball. So you work hard, and I got here for a reason. So.
Yeah, I love how you said I got here for a reason, because I was looking at, you left there averaging over 20 points a game. You were ready.
Yeah.
I feel like you're ready for that jump, Division I. And glad that the coaching staff found you to bring you onto the Zips, because you've definitely been a bright spot the last couple years. And so you said there was a little bit of challenge.
Yeah.
What was the biggest thing that right off the bat, wow, okay, it's basketball, but it's a little bit different?
I would kind of say the pace, and maybe just confidence. It's just it's different. You go from community college to Division I. It's just I guess a culture shock.
Sure.
In a way.
It's a good way to describe it. Culture shock. But to your point though, you were, averaging over 20 points a game, top player, whatever, and then bam, you're in this league where there's a lot of players that average 20 points a game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was a little bit humbling, but,
Yeah.
but again, you wouldn't know that from how you played on the court. So,
Thank you.
So last year, 26 games, 17 starts. You're already at 17 starts this season, and there's still a handful of games left. How have you really embraced this opportunity to contribute? Like, what has been the secret this year?
Yeah, I mean, like in the off season, I put in a lot of work. I still continue like getting in the gym with my position coaches on my own. Just really hard work and just relying on my teammates. They trust me, I trust them. So we'll get there.
Got it. What are some of the things, I guess, in the off season that you took away from your game the last season? Said I need to work on X, Y. What were some of those things you?
I worked on shooting from the three.
Shooting from
a lot,
the three.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they kind of like played off me a little bit.
Okay.
So it was kind of hard for me to score. So I worked on shooting and I worked on my left hand. And I also just worked on, again, getting my confidence back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the goal. Those were the goals during the off season.
Yeah.
And then in addition, I was going to ask this later, but let's bring it up. The Wentz Financial Center, that practice facility for the team. How has that been able to help you with your game? You've been able to take advantage of some of the technology over there.
Oh yeah, we love the Noah.
Okay, Noah?
Yeah,
That's
we love
the
the Noah.
shot tracker? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to a number of basketball players, and everyone talks about that. And the joke that I say is, you want it in the green, right? You want to see the green.
Yeah.
The green tells you that you're shooting correctly.
Yeah.
So you've really been able to take advantage of that facility over there. Well, fantastic. I think one of the big changes in the team going into at the end of last season to this season is 8 new players.
Mm-hmm.
How was it just learning names? Like, was that a transition? Did you guys have to
It
wear
was.
name tags? Hello, my name is Alexa.
It was an adjustment for sure, but I think we all got along pretty quickly. Like we all bonded pretty quickly. It was different, but like we all have like such strong personalities, and we're all so different, but we're kind of the same.
Okay.
Like we all have like the similar goals. We all want to win.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean it wasn't too hard. Girls chat, so we're just girls. We're just girls.
Just girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. A good way to describe it. But what was how did the coaching staff help with that? Were there things that to kind of get to know each other, any retreats, anything like that to really help out with?
Yeah, we did some team bonding. We went to Puerto Rico. We went to actually Bud Wentz hosted us a retreat.
Okay.
So yeah, we did that, some things like that.
So again, just 8 new players and kind of figuring out the first part of the season, you're really just probably figuring out the rotation, how people play.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from your teammates? Like what have you learned about them during that time that's really kind of helped you guys now during the season?
Yeah, we really learned how to like play off of each other. We all play kind of different, but it's now gotten easier to find each other and to know like put each other in like the best positions possible, because we know like what we do well and how like we click and what works for us. So that's kind of what practice is about too, like finding our rhythm.
Okay. So this season, I'm gonna read this. I don't have these stats off the top of my head. So just some individual highlights. So he scored 30 against Miami Hamilton. MAC Player of the Week, the end of December. Currently leading. I'm assuming this is still current. I didn't look to see after last weekend. Leading the team in points, averaging 12.4, 12th in the MAC. How do you feel the season's going for you? Anything still to work on?
Yeah, you always have a lot to work on.
Okay.
But right now, I'm feeling pretty good with basketball. Basketball's feeling pretty good about me. So I'm just kind of, going with the flow, continuing to do like what I do best, taking it one game at a time, one day at a time, one practice at a time, and yeah, just keep working hard. Can never like get enough of working. So
to your point though, you're always working on your game.
Yeah.
Where in addition to the scoring, you also you can grab rebounds, assists. How do you try to work in these other areas of the game? How do you become well-rounded as a basketball player, not just a scorer, but also contributing to the success of your team?
I think it's about watching a lot of film as well, getting
Okay.
in with like my position coaches and learning from like what I didn't do in the last game and what I can always do better. I like to find my teammates. Me and Shelby are leaders in paint touches.
Yeah.
So we get to the paint, kick out threes for my teammates that shoot it really well.
We got some shooters on the team.
We got some shooters.
We got some shooters.
Yeah.
How is it watching film? Do you know right away? You're like, oh boy,
Oh, yes.
At the end of a game,
Yeah.
like, I know when I watch this.
Yeah, it's always like that one clip that you know that you think is gonna be on film. It's always gonna be on film. But after the game, I try to like on the bus rides back. I always try to like go back and rewatch the game.
Okay.
And it's kind of like I go watch the things that like I could do like that I did wrong, but like also the things that I did well, so that I'm not always too down on myself, but still knowing that there are things that you can improve on.
So really, when you're in that film session, there's no surprises for you.
Yeah, no.
You know exactly.
I know exactly what's happening. I know.
Either yourself or someone's
Yeah.
going to say something to
Yeah.
you. Okay. I'm not going to go into what happened to the Kent game. I'll let you figure. But when does that session usually? Is that the next day following the game? Or?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
next day.
So you've already gone through.
Yeah.
You know what it is for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay. We're here with Alexus Mobley, ZIPS Nation insider. So Alexa, let's talk a little bit about off the court.
Okay.
Right. So you are a psychology major.
Yes.
How has it been to kind of balance being, a student athlete, so in the classroom, on the court? How do you balance that in your life?
It's honestly not too hard. I think I'm like a pretty decent student. So just kind of like on my schedule, putting in times to study, doing homework whenever, like, trying to get things done in advance. Like the sooner, not procrastinating.
Sure.
Tried that, doesn't work.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that anymore. So just not procrastinating. That's
By the way, I
best
love that attitude. It is the reason that I love when companies hire student athletes,
Yeah.
because that is something that prioritizing, if you guys are just so good about being able to do that. So why did you choose psychology? What's the reason behind choosing that as a major?
I don't know. I like to know like why people think the way that they think.
Okay.
I think like the study of the brain is just like it's just really interesting to me.
Now, psychology, obviously sports psychology is a field of psychology.
Yeah.
How have some of the things you've learned in the classroom kind of helped with, the mental well-being, especially at this point in the season where you've dropped 5 games in a row? Have you been able to pick up on anything from the psychology to kind of help you stay motivated?
Honestly, I do kind of just a little bit, but I think I just know, like being a psychology major, you just kind of know how to take care of yourself a little bit more. I think it's easier for me to recognize when I'm doing things like when I'm being too hard on myself, and when I'm being too confident about myself, you just kind of like, when it's enough, when you've had enough.
So there's certain like mantras. You have like phrase. Like how do you stay motivated? Are there phrases? Are there things that you kind of think about that help? Again, maybe this is an area of psychology. I have to admit, was not a psychology major, but I feel like those are things that can help. Just kind of having these mantras, so to speak.
Not really. I just kind of just like next play. I guess
play.
that's like with life too, though. Like if anything like goes wrong, just next play, do better.
So
just
if
do better.
miss a basket, miss a bucket, it's next play.
Yeah.
Next time down the court.
Yeah.
So outside of basketball, academics, what are some of the things that you do to relax and have fun outside of kind of those priorities in your life?
I love to cook.
I love
to cook and I love to bake. All the time.
Cook and bake.
Yeah, all the time.
Well, had we known that, we may have asked you to bring something. What's your favorite style of cuisine? What's your favorite type of food?
I honestly I don't know. I really like making different types of pastas. I love pasta.
Okay.
I love pasta. So I'll make like different pastas. I like to bake. My favorite thing to bake is peach cobbler. I love peach
cobbler.
Yeah. I'm going to actually try to make a cheesecake peach cobbler for the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that turns out.
Okay, so the invites, are we getting the invites?
Of course, you can come.
Cheesecake peach cobbler. I got to think about that for a sec. I love cheesecake. I love peach cobbler.
You put it together.
Put it together? I mean, I'm on board with that. So cooking and baking. Do you do little surprises for the team? Do you bake stuff?
I did one time. Well, not for everybody, but I cook for my roommates.
Okay.
So I like to cook for my roommates.
Okay.
It gets a little expensive sometimes.
Sure. I get that. So that's kind of how you relax is through cooking and baking. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. All right. So this is where we go into we've asked these questions of all of our guests. Do you have any pregame superstitions or rituals? Something that you have to do to make sure that game goes well. By the way, if you don't want to share, that's okay, because putting that out there maybe break some of those.
I'm trying to think, because I used to always have to eat at the same spot before every
not
game.
the same time, but the same spot.
Yes, the same spot.
Like restaurant or in the arena.
The same spot. I used to just have to get Starbucks before every game or something like that. It'd have to be the same. But now I don't really think that I do. Besides, I have to be on the court 75 minutes before so that I can
75
shoot.
minutes.
Yeah, so at 75, I have to be on the court and I shoot.
Okay.
And then
Now, do coaches help you there, or you just know internal clock? You know.
no, we have a clock in the training room.
Okay.
So in the training room, I just wait till 75 and I come out on the court and I shoot with a couple of my teammates.
Okay.
And Marty, our GA.
So that's probably the ritual you have to
Yeah.
do. 75 minutes.
Yeah.
So if we want to see you warming up, we know 75 minutes
Yeah.
to be in your seat. Okay. All right. The other question we like to ask our guests: hometown pizza. You like pasta, so you like Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite place in Indianapolis for your hometown pizza?
Okay, don't be mad. I don't like pizza.
Oh my goodness! I don't think we've had.
I
That's a
don't-
first. That's a first for
I
Zip
don't-
Station Insider.
I don't like
You don't
pizza.
like pizza. You like
No,
pasta.
I like pasta, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like pizza.
So if we go to, do you have a favorite Italian place that you like to go to?
No.
We're mixing it up. Okay. So
But here in Akron, I love Piata.
Piata.
Oh, I get Piata like 3 times a week.
Okay.
I love Piata.
There you go.
I
There
love
you go.
Piata.
And I think they're a sponsor of Zips Athletics, so we really like you saying that. So what's your go-to order at Piata?
Okay, I make my own pasta and I get
Okay.
the penne noodles with Diablo, pesto, and Alfredo with chicken and salmon. And then
Chicken and
broccoli.
salmon?
Yeah. And Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese.
So so the same thing? You get
yeah,
the same thing?
every time.
So do you go to the one in Cuyahoga Falls then?
There's one that's a little bit closer, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I don't
Do they
where
know
it's-
you? Do they know to bring?
I think so. Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Alexus is coming. Get the chicken and the salmon and the
I
broccoli.
think so. I went there one time actually, and the lady was like, "Do you have a punch card?" I was like, "No," and she punched it like 4 times for me. She's like, "You just come back 2 more times."
Oh my goodness. You're a regular.
I'm a regular.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. No shame. They're a sponsor of Akron Athletics. There's nothing wrong
I
with
love
that.
Piata.
All right. Let me grab my phone. This is our rapid fire segment.
Okay.
Let me
Oh,
pull up the
gosh.
rapid
I'm so
fire
bad at these.
the rapid fire questions here. I should have had it ready. Okay, a rapid fire segment is powered by 330 to go, Northeast Ohio's hottest and fastest growing news and entertainment media network. All right, so as you walked in, you had a bag. Is that your guilty pleasure snack food?
I just love sour candy.
Love sour candy.
I love sour candy.
So your guilty pleasure snack food is sour candy.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference though? Which one?
Nope. I just love sour candy. I love sour anything though.
Okay, so sour candy is your
Yeah.
good. How about guilty pleasure television?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Binge watch it every night.
Is it still on?
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to catch up though. Like I just started it. I've been moving
How many
though.
seasons? How many seasons?
There's 20 or 21 seasons. I'm on season 7, but I've been like season
Oh.
8 actually. But I've been moving. Like I watch like a season a week.
A season a week.
I have like when I'm cooking and baking, Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
All right, so guilty pleasure. Who's the best dancer on the team?
Naira Clark.
Naira Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we had your teammates, I think Maddie said she was the best dancer on the team.
Maddie's not a good dancer. I don't know why she lied to Zips Nation, but
She lied to Zips. I'll let you guys work that out now. All right, favorite emoji?
the eye rolling emoji.
Eye rolling emoji.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't like pizza, so that was take that question out. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
How'd you like soccer?
I love soccer. Oh, and I ran track.
Ran track.
Yes.
Now I was gonna guess you ran just the way you cruised down the court.
Yeah.
I was gonna say what events did you do in track?
100, 200, 4x1. I actually I almost went to school for track instead of basketball. I'm not gonna say where I got my offer from, but it was my first one, and I was like, no, I don't like.
So you got an offer to do track. You decided to do basketball at Danville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That explains why you're so fast on the court. A sprinter.
I went to state my freshman year.
Went to state your freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So did you do track your all 4 years of?
I did track for. I didn't do it my senior year. It was just
Okay.
really hard on my knees.
Got
It
it.
just got really bad on my knees.
So how? And soccer must have been not great on your knees. I mean.
I did, yeah, but I did soccer when I was like younger. Like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So in high school it was just
Yeah, just
basically basketball.
basketball and track. Yeah.
Okay. Basketball track. Now I know I've commented on you're quick down the court, but how did track help you with basketball? Was there?
I don't know actually. I got told a lot of times where like, you can't see your speed on a basketball court, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like I don't know. Honestly,
I can
maybe
see your
just
speed. I don't know who was telling you that, but that is not a true statement.
I think maybe just like with agility. Like,
Agility?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think that's it for our rapid fire. I want to thank you so much. Again, apologize for lying. We were supposed to
No,
have
you're
you on
fine.
last week. We're so glad we were able to reschedule, have you this week.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we're excited about the team. I know, you know, it's been a little bit of a rough patch, but our final question is you got a game this Wednesday. So we have, I don't know how many games till the end of the season. Why should 5 games till the end of the season? Part of the reason we do this podcast is to get fans excited. So my last question for you is, why should fans be excited about the last 5 games of the season?
I mean, I think we're pretty fun to watch. And I mean, we're determined. We're not going to go away. We're going to keep our foot on people's necks. We're not going to take pressure off. It's next play, next game. I mean, I think we're coming. So
That's a good enough reason for me.
yeah.
So Zips Nation, next game is this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Team plays against, I think Ball State, right? Ball State? No,
Western
Michigan.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got folks off the camera helping us out with that. So Western Michigan, 6 o'clock this Wednesday. I agree with you. You guys are a fun, exciting team, and you're not going to go down quietly.
No.
So we're rooting for you, pulling for you, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.